We used to think that engineers are just robots, you just give them tasks and they do. But you cannot cook ugali without flour. You have enough information about what you are trying to build. Many people think that project management is just a profession, but actually project management is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Let's say you wake up in the morning. The first thing you do, you pray, then you go and brush your teeth, you take a shower, you go into the kitchen, make a breakfast, then you start cleaning the house. You see those series of events, bringing them into a kind of well-articulate documentation so that you may perform without missing any of those steps. That's managing a project. As simple as it is, completing an entire day with these tasks in your entire life. That's a complete project on its own. What inspired me to become a project manager is basically the desire to understand how things work. I always had the desire to know how our software is made, what processes are working behind the scene to make an application become an application, or what is happening so that you may see a website the way it is seen on your browser. So that desire for knowing or understanding how things work is one of the things that actually inspired me to become a project manager. There is an automobile auctioning platform known as Gemma Auto. That is one of the projects I managed from start to finish. Yeah, you can go and visit their page, gemmaauto.com. You need a vehicle, you can purchase a vehicle from the auctions in Japan. That project was one of the projects that was, we can say, just a dream to our stakeholder. Our stakeholder sold us a dream that we envision linking vehicle purchasers or buyers with the auction directly in Japan. We are used to receiving projects from clients giving us their business models, their SOPs, but with Gemma Auto, they do not have an articulate business process of how they are going to link Tanzania and Japan auction platform. So we did not have user requirements per se. So it was kind of hard actually grasping all this information and try to ideate and make one single outline of how you're going to perform these tasks. So that was kind of the major challenge we faced during this project. When it comes to deciding what methodology to use, possible. That's why I say all these things is kind of a lifestyle. You are breathing it, but you don't know if you're actually doing the actual act. So even when it comes to agile methodologies, waterfall methodologies, we use these methods. We use this method on a daily, but we do not actually know if you are using the method. So you might be using a methodology during your software development life cycle, but you may not know which methodology you are using because you do not professionally manage the project. That's why you do not know if you used or did not use a certain kind of methodology and which one is it that you are using. There was one guy, I had a conversation with him, and he said that they work best if everybody works from home. That's what they are used to. So even in startups, you might already be having a methodology. You just need to know which one is it and actually put your strength into that. Just select which one works for you, because not all methodologies will work depending on the working environment, depending on who you're working with, depending on the types of projects you're working on. Not all methodologies will work. We don't adapt one methodology and just move with it for the rest of our lives. We have to have reasons as to why we select certain kind of methodologies. If we select agile or waterfall or XP, it depends on what you have on the table. You cannot cook ugali without flour. So it depends on what you have. What are the ingredients? Do you have enough information about what you are trying to build? Is it something you've done before? So all these to be considered when you're selecting a certain kind of methodology you want to use. So in your team, first of all, you have to have a person that designs the product you're trying to create. The first person, that's the designer. Now you have to have a person who can implement the design. That's the front-end engineer. That's the second person. With the front-end itself, the system cannot work. It must have a back-end. I mean, everything that controls the functionalities or the business logic of the software. That's the third person on the back end. And we have to have a person who is going to manage setting up an environment for making this platform production ready, making this platform available to the people who are going to use it. That's the DevOps specialist. That's the fourth person. And business analyst. The business analyst actually plays a very pivotal role in making sure that the business language is translated correctly into an engineering kind of language to be understood. Those are the 5 key players in an entire software team. 6, the project manager. So a project manager, you need to play a pivotal role in reminding your team members that there is ABC needs to be considered to actually achieve automating these business processes for our stakeholders. I can say this out of experience. My perspective on how actually project management as a lifestyle and as a profession work is now more vivid. I have understood a lot of things, even people management. Back then, we used to think that engineers are just robots. You just give them tasks and they do. But that's not how it works here. When you're on the field working with people, you need to understand there's a lot that can actually enable or disable you to actually achieve what you're trying to achieve. Because at the end of the day, you're not only managing your team, you're also managing your stakeholder or your client as well. Understanding your engineer's work ethic, your engineer's time management, there's a lot here. You are trying to play a role in between when it comes to people management, how to communicate, what to say, when to say it, how to read the room. You need to also understand how to read the room, because not all the time you can be able to actually deliver a message and expect the person you're delivering it to receive it as your intention. Innovators come with dreams. They are coming with imaginations that I want this, I want that, I want this. And because they have a strong emotional connection with because they've invested time in thinking of it, it's kind of hard to actually deviate their attention to what they imagine, what can be done. That's usually a big block we usually encounter as project managers. It's quite easy if you give them options and tell them, please select out of these options. Some clients will choose, but some will need more clarification. They'll need to set up meetings. So that's one way you can tackle that obstacle and smoothly sail into reaching the objectives of the project. My name is Rigobert Kiata, project manager at IPF Softwares.